Good afternoon. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the rainfall potential coming up for mainly for Friday through Monday. Um, there's a lot of data out there. It's kind of given a lot of different opinions, and I kind of have had my own. As I've noted in our forecast, I kind of suspected that maybe the data was too widespread with the really heavy rainfall. I do believe there are going to be pockets of heavy rainfall, but yeah, I thought the data was probably overdoing it. So we're going to take a look at what the models are doing this afternoon. The models aren't my favorite thing, but they actually do help with visualization. So we're going to take a look at that. We'll take a look at the National Weather Service, and I'll kind of give my opinions as well on what I think is lays ahead for Madison County. So right now we're looking at mid-level water vapor, and I kind of like the mid-level vapor just because it's kind of in between. It usually gives you a good idea of what's going on. But what we're really kind of watching is this trough digging in up here that's going to settle down into this area. It's going to pick up some of the disturbances from uh, off of the Pacific Northwest. We get some low pressures that'll track along that. Um, Depending on the orientation of this as it sinks in, is going to make a huge difference on rainfall track and rainfall intensity. A lot of the modeling had the trough digging in a little farther to our west, giving it a lot harder southwest to northeast flow, which would then have allowed these lows to pick up a lot of moisture off of the Gulf of Mexico. Um, I've been a little bit suspect of that, and we can kind of see that as this trough's digging in, it's a little bit flattened off. It's not, and it's slowing down a little bit too. You can't really tell that from this, but um, I just don't think it's going to dig deep enough to get us onto a really good tap into Gulf moisture. Sorry, I'm kind of fumbling this, but so that's kind of what I'm looking at satellite wise. So we'll take a look at some of the model data and see what's going on with it. Um, this is the U.S. look at the NAM model, and I kind of want to take a look at this because I kind of actually like what the NAM is trying to do. The Europeans kind of starting to follow its suit. So we'll take a look, and as we look, you can kind of see up here where this trough is digging in, and it begins to become a focus for some rainfall. This is for Thursday, and then here we're getting into the afternoon on Thursday. There's also by this point a surface low develops out here that then begins to track along this. So the first bout of heavy rain for Illinois is actually going to occur. Eastern Iowa, northern Illinois. That's actually going to begin to occur on Thursday. As the trough digs in, that low will move away. But then you can see as we're getting into very early on Friday, again, you can see where the boundary is and you can see where it digs out. And so Friday, this boundary is kind of going to be a focus for potential for some moderate to heavy rain, maybe even some severe. We're still kind of need to wait and see how that all develops. And I'll zoom in and show this closer, but I think being able to see this nationally, it kind of gives you a better visualization of how this is really playing out. This is by Friday afternoon, about 2 p.m. And now you can see it just has really these storms just kind of popping up along that boundary. And then you can see is this high pressure that's over here off the edge of the screen, as it begins to intensify and actually back up a little bit or retrograde, it kind of pushes that boundary back up to the north and northwest. Then we take a look, and by this point we're well into Saturday, and you can see what's happened. There's another low pressure sitting up here tracking along that, but it's well to our northwest because this boundary has now been retrograded some, and a whole lot of Saturday actually is looking pretty dry. It's not, the NAM only goes out to 8 p.m. Saturday evening, and you can see now a new new wave of heavy rain is beginning to develop along that boundary. I believe that's going to be into effect for us for Sunday, maybe a little bit into Monday. But I wanted to take this look at the NAM because, like I said, I kind of like what it was doing. I think and I'll show you here in a second, the European is kind of starting to do the same thing. So here's the European. I'm going with the 3 hour model, and because it gives you a lot shorter snapshot of what the rainfall is doing versus the full model where it's okay. We're still stuck on the 6Z for some reason, and we'll go back to that because I think it still kind of has the same idea. So this is actually the 6Z Euro. The 12Z is churning out right now. I'm really kind of surprised the map's not up yet. But we'll take a look at what the Euro was doing. And so here we are through Thursday. Now we're getting into this about 8 a.m. on Friday. And you can see the Euro is beginning to get some moisture into, Madison County's right here. So, it's beginning to get some moisture in here. Of course, you can't take these all verbatim, but it gives you an idea of what it's doing. And you can see it's actually farther north than what even the NAM was with the precipitation. So here we are getting into very early Saturdays, so 2 a.m., 5 a.m., and by 8 a.m. on Saturday, the European now has the rain lifted completely north. Now you notice the European is a little more east and west to east with this. I do think it's a little bit too flat with this, and I do think the orientation is still going to be more southwest to northeast. But either way, at this point, the pace everything is on, Saturday isn't looking bad for us. It's looking pretty good for at least east central Indiana and probably into Ohio. I had a question about western Ohio, and right now, western Ohio is not looking bad for Saturday either. You can take a look at on out. Again, this is going to stop at 8 p.m. on Saturday evening, and you can see the rainfall generally stays to our northwest on Saturday. That's the NAM, that's the European. They both are kind of in agreement. Now we'll take a look at the GFS, because the GFS, now the GFS has backed off of what it had. I'll show you that here in a minute. But GFS has backed off significantly on what it had. But let's take a look at what it's doing now via pivotal weather. So we'll take a look here, and we're again getting into very early Friday. It starts to pop a few showers up. It brings some decent rain in by 8 a.m. on Friday morning. And then it brings some heavier rain in during the day, backs it off. Then you get into Saturday, and actually the GFS wants Saturday to be the rainy day. It puts down heavy rain. This would be at 8 p.m. on Saturday evening when the NAM and the Euro have no rain here. GFS is a lot farther southeast with that boundary. Would give us some moderate to heavy rain in east central Indiana over into Ohio. Really all of central Indiana. And then not so much on Sunday. And then, even through Monday, almost nothing. It now has that boundary pushed well off to the south. So it's, and I think it might be a little too progressive with that. So we'll see how it plays out. So that's just a couple of the models that gives you kind of an idea of how they have things moving and shaking out. And all things considered, I think the orientation of the NAM is right. I think the European and NAM kind of have the timing right. And I'd expect the European probably kind of modify. Like I said, it was still loading up the 12Z, so who knows what, it may have already made that correction. So now we'll take a look at total rainfall. This is through 8 p.m. on Monday. And here's what the GFS has for all the rainfall that it showed. It's now it has Madison County picking up somewhere around 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, which I think is pretty legit. That's where I think we're going to fall. I think if a certain type of cell comes through, we might see 3 inches, but it's going to take particular, like a severe cell or a really strong cell to come through. I don't think we're going to see just widespread 3 and 4 inches. But this is the latest GFS through, like I said, through 8 p.m. Monday. Let's take a trip back through the other runs. Here was the run before that, and you can see there had the heavy rain up here through Lafayette. It had this countywide picking up 2 to 3 inches of rain, up to like 3.5. Let's go back to the GFS runs every 6 hours. So now we'll back up to the first run of the day, which actually was last run yesterday evening. And again, you can see it had that heavy axis back there. It had even more heavy rain here. It had some 4 and 5 inch amounts around northern Delaware County. We'll go back yet one more here. And at this point, this was the 18Z yesterday, so the 2 p.m. run yesterday. So this time yesterday, it's putting down 9 inches of rain up northwest of Lafayette. So, Madison County was a lot closer to the cutoff, and I think that is actually the case. But you can see the amounts have dropped drastically just since yesterday. I think the models are beginning to realize that it's not going to be this torrential thing, that widespread torrential thing that they once thought it was going to be. So those are the kind of the trends and how things are going. And we'll take a look at one more thing. This was what the National Weather Service put out, and they had us, picking up 3 to 4 inches of rain in Anderson. Let me zoom that in a little bit. So they had us picking up 3 to 4 inches of rain in Anderson. A lot heavier rain back here, 6 to 8 inches around Lafayette and Crawfordsville. And that's what the National Weather Service had. And it very well could happen if the orientation of that boundary gets to be enough southwest to northeast where it can pick up some good Gulf moisture. It digs deep enough where it can pick up some good Gulf moisture. Then these amounts very well could happen. At this point, I'm not inclined to think that's what's going to happen. I think we're countywide. We're looking in Madison County at 1 to 2 inches of rain over the weekend. Again, I think Saturday at this point looks, largely dry. That's just where I think. I think we're 1 to 2 inches, maybe 3 inches under the right cells for Madison County. I'll keep an eye on this. I'll update you. It's a changing situation, but based on I've been skeptical, like I said, of just the massive amounts of rain that's been put out by the data, and that's starting to show itself changing now in the model data. So we'll see what kind of trends continue. We still got some more time to iron this out, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what the data is saying, kind of what I'm thinking right now, and we'll continue to iron this out. I'll probably do another video update. I do want to note also, just this last thing, I've not really set a date yet, but I am going to start doing videos. That right now the plan is to do them at least twice, maybe 3 times per week, depending on how active the weather is. And at first I'll do them for everybody so that you get an idea of what you're going to get, and so I can practice and get better at this. And then from that point, I'll set a date. Maybe right now, maybe the beginning of August, where the video updates will start going out via email to people who are monthly subscribers or people who donate frequently enough where to me they would be like monthly subscribers. So at some point, if you want to have these kind of videos, now I will say I've considered it, but I'm not going to drop severe weather coverage off the Facebook page. If there's severe weather, I'm still going to do the same thing I've always done, because ultimately that's what the page was about, is helping the county be safe, making sure the county has good weather information. But there are a lot of times that I just do like nonstop updates of just thunderstorms and things like that. Those and these types of more forecast videos, I'll start doing for people who subscribe. So you might want to consider that if you'd like to get these kind of videos 2 to 3 times a week straight to your email instead of having to catch them on Facebook. That's what I'm going to start doing at some point. I've not set a date. Like I said, I'm going to do them for everybody for a little while, practice, get better at it, see if it becomes something that you think is worth it, and then we'll go from there. I'm still ironing this stuff out, so I do want to thank everybody who's donated to the page to help keep us going. I want to thank the handful who are monthly subscribers who really help keep this page going. And for now, that's all I've got. And this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I'll talk to you later. Like I said, I'll probably do another one of these maybe tomorrow as this picture comes more clear. Thank you.